the book that makes everything possible for you. One of the most famous examples of banned knowledge in history is the case of Galileo Galilei and his support for the idea that the Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun. This was a big deal back then because everyone thought the Earth was at the center of everything, and this was widely accepted by scientists and the Catholic Church for a really long time. I will share the full story on the last minute of this video. Now let's talk about knowledge and power. You know, it's funny how life has a way of teaching us lessons when we least expect it. I stumbled upon a message from the 1st century that really struck a chord with me. It said that if we don't understand the world, we don't understand ourselves. It's like a wake-up call for those of us who are striving to learn and grow. The message also talks about the power of TNT, but not in the way you might think. It's not just about explosions. It's about harnessing this power for good. Just like how excessive power can be destructive, TNT is a metaphor for understanding that everything can be proven by the teachings of the Bible, firmly established laws of physics, and simple common sense. I remember a pivotal moment from my childhood when a friend, who was an expert in X-rays and electrical devices, placed a powerful piece of TNT in my pocket. At the time, I didn't understand its significance, but looking back, I realized that he trusted me with something powerful, something that could light the way to success if used wisely. There's so much to gain from seeking the truth, whether it's from a spiritual, scientific, or practical perspective. Embracing this knowledge can illuminate your path with brilliant light. It's a journey of discovery, and I'm excited for us to walk it together. During that time, I had something tucked in my pocket, just within my reach. Fast forward to the present, and I have a secure grasp on it, ready to share generously. When utilized wisely, it has the power to sweep away obstacles and pave the path for your lifelong journey. For many years, I worked as a newspaperman, often behind the scenes. I had the privilege of meeting remarkable individuals and interviewing famous personalities. Through it all, I closely observed and tried to comprehend the unique qualities that set them above the rest. However, their secrets seemed to elude me. Then the war came, and I found myself questioning why others were making progress while I felt blocked in my own ambitions. It was during this time that I learned a valuable lesson: the ability to endure hardships, find humor in adverse situations, and conquer fear. This newfound strength has become a part of my very being, serving as a reminder of the resilience within us all. In my pursuit of success, I delved into countless books on various subjects, hoping to uncover the great secret that had always seemed just out of reach. Even joining secret fraternal organizations did not reveal what I was searching for. Little did I know, the secret was hidden in plain sight, present in every book, and deeply ingrained in the world around me. After the war, I became a member of an investment banking organization, with operations stretching along the entire coast. Over the years, a grand dream has been nurtured within me, much like the aspirations of thousands of others. This journey has been one of discovery, resilience, and ultimately, the determination to share the lessons learned along the way with others. In my journey through various business ventures, I ventured through different avenues only to realize that the grand visions I had were founded on unstable ground. It was a turning point that completely overturned my financial stability, and I found myself surrounded by uncertainty and fear. As a leader, the burden of responsibility grew heavier as our business encountered a crisis amidst global economic shifts. The lack of understanding from others led to criticism, amplifying my worries and causing countless sleepless nights. The situation deteriorated with each passing week, leaving me feeling utterly lost. I even contemplated abandoning the business altogether, and at one point I made the decision to leave. However, a pivotal moment arrived one sleepless night in June 1931 when a conversation with a longtime colleague left me feeling reproached. Unable to find peace, I wandered restlessly until the early hours, pondering whether to surrender or persevere. In that moment of desperation, a realization struck me, a duty that I felt overwhelmed by but inherently knew to be mine. It was a belief instilled in me since childhood, and suddenly it took on a new significance. It felt as though an unseen force was asking me profound questions, unraveling the purpose I had been seeking all these years. I was faced with a choice: to succumb to the burden and leave others to carry on alone, or to stay and fulfill my duty. And as the night unfolded, I found myself echoing a resounding affirmation that it was the right path, the only way forward. It was a profound moment of realization, a turning point that guided me back from the brink, and a testament to the power of resilience and determination. Where have you been, and where are you going? Let me tell you about the royal secret that I recently discovered. I was so excited when I stumbled upon it in a book that had been given to me many years ago by a great man, Albert Pike, who was a mystic poet and scholar. As I flipped through the pages, I found the exact words I had been looking for, and suddenly everything made sense to me. Now that I have the key to understanding, I see a clear and smooth path ahead, leading to a beautiful and radiant light at the end. It's incredible how I had overlooked the help and guidance that was being offered to me all along. I felt overwhelmed with joy and a sense of relief, knowing that everything would be all right from then on. It was as if a burden had been lifted off my shoulders, and I slept like a baby that night. The next day, there was a different atmosphere in the office, as if the dark clouds that had been looming over us were starting to disperse. I shared my experience with a woman in our office, and she gave me a knowing smile. She helped me get back on track, for which I am truly grateful. As one wise man once said, we all have the ability to distinguish between right and wrong and the potential to achieve anything. Sometimes, though, we have to face obstacles before understanding our true potential. I certainly feel like I've broken through a barrier and found a new understanding of myself and my path. I still remember the moment when everything changed. It was like a giant wave crashing against a wall with a huge thud, and it became the most significant and fantastic thing that ever happened to me. Many people who noticed the transformation were curious and asked for an explanation. I confided in some of my closest friends, and now I'm sharing the story with you because I believe that sharing experiences can uplift others. The morale of our entire organization had hit rock bottom, and everyone felt discouraged and scared due to the challenges we were facing. We knew that we needed to make a U-turn, and it became my mission to do everything I could to help others because I truly felt it was the right thing to do. At first, I was uncertain about the methods to use in order to uplift and motivate my colleagues. However, I relied on my own unique system to address the subconscious, and an inner voice guided me to engage them in a certain way. Some were skeptical, but I was determined to prove that I was on the right path. Over the following weeks, I dedicated every waking hour to revisiting the books I had studied over the years. I began with the wisdom of the Bible, delved into the teachings of yoga, explored the philosophies of ancient Greek and Roman masters, and then moved on to more recent scholars and students. I re-evaluated the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, delved into Hudson's law of psychic phenomena, and immersed myself in The Spirit World, penned by the brilliant Dr. Hayden Chester. I also revisited my books on physics, electricity, and the vibrations of light, and my discoveries not only confirmed my beliefs, but also revealed that the same general principles ran throughout. In addition, I went back to numerous books on psychology and found similar patterns everywhere. I began to share excerpts from these wise teachings, and to my amazement, things began to shift. It has always struck me that those who possess the power to influence others are like the headliners of a newspaper. They are the ones who make front-page news with their remarkable impact. In today's world, many individuals have mastered various fields such as science, war, banking, statesmanship, politics, and the arts, catapulting them into the limelight as headliners. The names are countless, but just to name a few: Nero, Julius Caesar, Christopher Columbus, Cleopatra, Balzac, Deo Payson, Sir Isaac Newton, Joan of Arc, Cromwell, Edgar Allan Poe, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, Bismarck, Graham Bell, General Grant, Cecil Rhodes, and Winston Churchill, just to mention a few. One outstanding individual who has wielded this power and captured the world's attention is Gandhi. Though he is often seen in modern attire, for several years he sported a simple look with short hair, a loincloth, and oversized glasses. It's intriguing to wonder why Gandhi adopted this unique appearance. Perhaps it was to draw the world's attention to himself and the cause of India. Understanding why these influential figures become headliners is a quest each of us must embark upon personally. The true measure of greatness lies in the consciousness of an honest purpose in life, founded on a just estimate of oneself and everything else, regular self-examination, and unwavering commitment to doing what's right irrespective of others' opinions. The philosophy of Marcus Aurelius rings true. What one thinks, says, and does indeed shapes one's character. In the pursuit of health, wealth, happiness, and contentment, countless individuals seek the key to solving their problems. It's a journey with millions of fellow travelers, and I am confident that you, too, can attain this key. I recently came across a fascinating story in an audiobook that got me thinking about our beliefs and their impact on our lives. The story goes like this. Two men were relaxing on Mississippi shore when one of them expressed his desire for 1,000,000 watermelons. When his friend asked if he would share, he replied with a resounding no. This simple yet thought-provoking story delves into the power of belief and how it shapes our actions and ultimately our destinies. Reflecting on this anecdote, I couldn't help but wonder about the negative traits that hold us back from realizing our full potential. It's often said that, if you believe it, it is so, a cryptic yet profound statement echoed throughout the teachings of great mentors like Confucius, Muhammad, and Jesus. This concept of belief, a fundamental idea across religions, has the power to shape our reality. It all boils down to one word: belief. Many people assert that the days of miracles are over, but perhaps the real miracle lies in our capacity to believe. As we contemplate this notion, it becomes apparent that our thoughts, beliefs, and actions are intricately intertwined, shaping the course of our lives. In conclusion, this story serves as a powerful reminder to examine our beliefs and the impact they have on our lives. It's a call to action to foster positive beliefs and rid ourselves of any negative traits that hinder our growth. After all, as the adage goes, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Let's continue to cultivate empowering beliefs and watch as our realities transform. In all my years, never have I encountered someone who could express such profound thoughts and beliefs. Perhaps the era of Aladdin and his mystical lamp never truly existed, just as the magic wand and the flying carpet from our beloved fairy tales and legends. When I refer to miracles, I'm speaking of achievements made possible through unwavering faith in oneself, in the people around us, and in a force that governs everyone's destiny. With such belief, the power to dispel negativity becomes yours, and nothing in this world can hinder you from reaching your aspirations. Too often, we find ourselves pondering and evaluating, allowing negativity to cloud our thoughts. Expressions like, "It won't work," "I'm afraid," "What if something goes wrong?" and "It's not worth the effort" tend to dominate our inner dialogue. Whether we realize it or not, these sentiments have been introduced to us through the power of suggestion, eventually becoming our own conclusions. This very message has been conveyed countless times throughout history, from the Bible to various great brotherhoods. It has influenced the likes of the three wise men, the Crusaders, Moses, Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Shakespeare, Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, Wilson, Benjamin Franklin, Edison, and numerous others. This wisdom has been wielded by the sages of all eras, including medicine men, religious leaders, great teachers, yogis, healers, and miracle workers. They were all human, just like us, and they all possessed this secret. It's a remarkable aspect of history that continues to inspire and guide those who seek to unlock their full potential. If you truly believe in something, you have the power to achieve it. Trust in your abilities and the power of conviction to inspire others. This principle is central to all major religions. The momentum to start something comes from a single individual's unwavering belief. It doesn't matter where the original idea comes from. All groundbreaking inventions stem from a comprehensive belief system. Have faith in yourself and your ideas, as top sellers do. They harness this power, which is why they excel. Every meaningful progress in a community or any endeavor succeeds because someone has unwavering faith and can impart it to others. Consider this. Success often breeds envy. Have you ever considered why people are envious of others' achievements or power? It's because they lack understanding. Every constructive accomplishment can be attributed to an individual's determination. Each one of us, when guided correctly, can realize our visions. If you truly believe it, you can achieve it. Developing this willpower and belief is a continuous process. It requires your commitment every minute, every hour, every day of the year. If you follow this path, you will leave those around you amazed at your rapid progress. Mahatma Gandhi, seeking a solution to India's problems upon arriving in England, attributed his drive to an inner voice. This illustrates an inner power or consciousness that many refer to as supernatural or subconscious. Whatever you may call it, recognize the potential it holds. This inner voice or power can guide us if we allow it to. Let it be your compass and source of strength as you navigate life's journey towards success. Have you ever noticed those little nudges or hunches that come from within? Some people see them as divine messages or a voice from beyond. Whatever you call it, one thing's for sure: it brings results. Now, let me guide you on how to tap into this mysterious power. The connection between the conscious and subconscious mind is incredibly close. Those who have delved into this topic know the astounding things that can be achieved by establishing a clear connection with the subconscious mind. By repetitively creating a detailed picture in your conscious mind and activating the subconscious, you unleash a power that is truly remarkable. It's true that once you set your mind on something, it's bound to get done. However, many of us struggle with indecision and uncertainty. We all have dreams and desires, but often we fail to clearly define what we want or the path we want to take. If only we could keep our dreams and wishes constantly in sight, eliminate fear, and cast aside all reservations, then we would see them materialize. It may sound paradoxical, but so many of us think we know what we want when in reality, we don't. If each of us truly knew what we desired, and had the will and perseverance to go after it, then we'd undoubtedly achieve it. If you have that burning desire within you, then the foundation has been laid. Take the time to form a perfect detailed picture of what you want. As the saying goes, he who knows how to plant will not see his plant uprooted. The one who knows how to hold will not have anything taken from him. So, when you have that clear picture in your mind, start repeating it. Let that little voice within you speak loud and clear. This is the first step to bringing your desires to reality. It's all about visualizing what you want and keeping those thoughts at the forefront of your mind at all times. First off, it's all about creating clear mental images of your wishes and keeping them in your thoughts. You can start by writing down your desires on small cards and carrying them with you everywhere. Visualize those cards in your mind's eye, and let the details of your wishes grow and develop. You can also put a card above your mirror, so you see it when you wake up and when you go to bed. Take a moment during the day to look at another card and focus on your aspirations. It's like a little mental rehearsal of the things you want to bring into your life. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Using a mirror can really amplify this technique. Take a good look at yourself and truly get to know yourself. As you do this, you may start seeing reflections of your desires in your own eyes, almost as if they're becoming a part of you. The key here is consistency. Keep practicing this visualization technique, keep writing down your wishes, and keep using the mirror. With time and commitment, you'll find that you're able to conjure up these mental images without any aids, and they'll start coming to life in your reality. This method has been around for ages, and I'm just here to pass on these practical instructions with the hope that they can be as effective for you as they have been for countless others. So, keep at it, stay positive, and watch as your daydreams gradually take shape in your life. You've got this. I've come to understand the power of prayer, and I'd like you to take a moment to consider it. Prayer is about nurturing the longing in your heart through constant repetition. It's important to remember that we are appealing to the subconscious mind, which is intertwined with the almighty force, an omnipotent and supreme intelligence, or whatever name you associate with it. It's easier to go with the flow rather than fight against it, but it's crucial to harmonize with everything around you. It's not just about letting your breath synchronize with the air, but also aligning your intelligence with the collective intelligence that encompasses all things. The law of compensation is a fundamental truth often forgotten by many. This law ensures that everything is balanced and set right. There are no strict rules because each of us may act differently. It's like two people crossing a river on different bridges, but ultimately reaching their destination. The outcome is what truly matters. By reflecting on your desires and adhering to the simple rules outlined here, you can attain everything you wish for. Miracles can be achieved, and you can accomplish things you once thought impossible. It's advisable to keep your innermost ambitions and desires to yourself. Sharing them may lead to others, creating obstacles in your path. In the event obstacles do arise, simply climb over them or walk past them with a joyful tune in your heart. Always remember that you are the one who can truly hinder your own progress. Believe in yourself and your potential, for it is only you who can stop yourself. I know it, I believe it, and it's true. Look within and trust in your abilities. Deep inside each of us lies a mountain of goodness that is always ready to bubble up and bring positivity into the world. It's important to be mindful of the power we hold within us, as it can either uplift us or act like a boomerang, causing destruction if used for evil purposes. Therefore, it's crucial to harness this power for the greater good, to spread happiness and positivity to ourselves and those around us. A genuine personality, coupled with strong willpower, has the ability to captivate others. It's fascinating how some individuals effortlessly overshadow others with their dynamic force. While some may argue that having such a personality is innate, it's vital to recognize that backed by willpower, it can be a driving force for achieving great things. Belief, dedication, and continuous immersion in our ideas are essential for making them a reality. Also, staying informed about worldly affairs is crucial for personal growth, as being knowledgeable about the world around us better equips us to navigate through life's challenges. In essence, nurturing our inherent goodness and channeling our power towards positive deeds, combined with a resolute character and continuous learning, will enable us to make a meaningful impact in our own lives and the lives of those around us. To achieve your goals and desires, it's important to recognize the immense power that knowledge holds. Understanding others is a sign of wisdom, but true enlightenment comes from knowing oneself. By immersing yourself in study, learning, and hard work, you can develop a sharp sense of observation. When you become attuned to your own essence, that awareness will naturally radiate to those around you. Cultivate confidence and enthusiasm, and you'll generate similar positive energy in your environment. This principle is as ancient as existence itself, like attracts like. A smile begets more joy, a good deed begets further benevolence, and wealth brings about more wealth. Likewise, love births love. Ayre's theory of electric magnetism encapsulates this idea in the law of attraction. It states that parallel currents moving in the same direction are drawn toward each other. Conversely, when they clash and move in opposing directions, they repel each other, causing discord. Remember, every physical movement communicates a story, one that reflects your unique personality. Take a moment to peer closely at your reflection in the mirror and pose meaningful questions. You'll recognize whether you already possess that essential quality, and if not, you can decide to embrace it. With this decision comes the assurance that you can and will attain it. As you cultivate an unwavering intensity and determination to advance, these qualities will soon manifest visibly in your eyes. Progress demands a positive mindset, and you have the ability to transform yourself into an affirmative individual every single day. Affirm to yourself, "I am becoming better in every way," and always keep your aspirations in mind. Your positive thoughts will inevitably permeate into your subconscious, manifesting health, wealth, and happiness in your life. There's no alternative. It's a universal reality. We all encounter individuals who incessantly dwell on bodily discomforts like back pain and headaches. However, focusing on these negative aspects only serves to perpetuate them. Instead, let's focus on positivity and abundance, and watch as these materialize and enrich our lives. It's clear that sometimes our minds almost force us to dwell on our pain and worries. The constant repetition of these thoughts makes our struggles feel like a harsh reality. But what if we chose not to give them the power they crave? Imagine a life where we don't dwell on our discomfort. Wouldn't it be liberating? Instead of allowing our worries and problems to consume us, we could reverse the process and focus on the positive. By embracing affirmative thinking, our pains, worries, and problems could begin to fade away. If we are tormented by something external, it's important to remember that it's not the thing itself that bothers us, but rather our own judgment about it. And guess what? We have the power to change that judgment. Likewise, if something within our own disposition causes us pain, we have the ability to adjust our opinion and alleviate that distress. Consider challenging situations as a train thundering across the tracks in front of you. You wouldn't put the train in reverse and back up, would you? No, you'd slam on the brakes and bring your car to a halt until the train has passed. Similarly, when things go wrong around you, it's okay to hit the brakes, turn off the engine, and take a moment to gather your thoughts. No force in the world, except your own hand, can shift your car into reverse. So, remind yourself that when you find yourself in reverse, you're the one who got yourself there. Yes, we are living in a time of great crisis, but there is an unlimited need for courage and bravery in human history. There's no cause for despair. On one hand, there is a path to incredible achievements, wealth, and happiness that mankind has never known before. Life, as we know it, can be quite fulfilling. Let's not allow fear and foolishness to spoil things for ourselves and others. Let's embrace the courage and bravery needed to steer our lives in a positive direction. It's amazing how much power and potential we have within us. H.G. Wells once said that the human will has the incredible ability to change our circumstances. It's like we have this vital energy that's just waiting to be unleashed, and it's so easy to tap into it once we find the key. Successful people aren't just shaped by external factors. They've made themselves who they are. There's only two ways to go in life, forwards or backwards, so why not choose to move forward? Fear can paralyze us, but once we cast it aside, the world becomes our oyster. Sure, losing a little money isn't a big deal, but losing hope, nerve, and ambition is what truly holds us back. Finding out exactly what you want and using the right methods can open doors you never thought possible. I'm not interested in empty promises. I'm interested in real, tangible results. A light will dawn on you, and you'll see a clear path to achieving what you're striving for. Conscious thinking needs to be in a receptive state to tap into the abundance of ideas from our subconscious. Our conscious mind weighs and calculates, while the subconscious simply passes on ideas. Have you ever followed a hunch? That's your subconscious at work. It's incredible where those ideas come from. Let's embrace the power within us, shift our gear, and move forward with confidence. Psychologists often advise us about the importance of putting our minds in a receptive state. By finding ways to relax and calm ourselves, we can open ourselves up to deeper insights. It's like entering a realm of great silence, allowing ourselves to dissolve our problems and focus on what we truly want. Through meditation and stillness, we can tap into our intuitions and act upon them, trusting the little voice inside. It's not about debating or discussing, but about following that inner guidance immediately. In doing so, the path ahead becomes illuminated, and our burdens gradually start to fall away. Shyness or reticence shouldn't be blamed on external factors like the stars or society. It's an internal obstacle that we can overcome. As we shift gears and start moving forward, we attract positive outcomes. Providing valuable service can lead to significant rewards, echoing the age-old adage that what goes around comes around. Embracing the idea of being the master of our own destiny and the captain of our soul empowers us to believe in ourselves and the way we perceive our reality. Reflecting on these words and putting them into action can yield powerful results. These truths are as ancient as humanity itself, and they have stood the test of time. By making them a part of our daily lives, we pave the way for success and open ourselves up to the golden key that unlocks our true potential. Believe, have faith, and discover the path to your best self. The banned knowledge of Galileo Galilei is that Galileo Galilei and his support for the idea that the Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun. This was a big deal back then because everyone thought the Earth was at the center of everything, and this was widely accepted by scientists and the Catholic Church for a really long time. I will share the full story on the last minute of this video. The heliocentric theory was initially proposed by Nicolaus Copernicus in his seminal work, De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium, on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, published in 1543. While Copernicus' ideas gradually gained attention, it was Galileo's observations and writings in the early 17th century that brought significant evidence supporting the heliocentric model to the forefront. Galileo's observations. Using his improved telescope, Galileo made several key astronomical observations. Moons of Jupiter. In 1610, Galileo discovered 4 moons orbiting Jupiter, which he named the Galilean moons. This finding provided clear evidence that not all celestial bodies revolved around the Earth. Phases of Venus. Galileo observed that Venus exhibited phases similar to those of the Moon, which could only be explained if Venus orbited the Sun. Sunspots. He documented sunspots on the surface of the Sun, challenging the notion of celestial perfection held by the geocentric model. Conflict with the Church. Galileo's support for heliocentrism brought him into direct conflict with the Catholic Church, which held the geocentric model as the orthodox view. In 1616, the Church declared heliocentrism to be formally heretical, as it seemed to contradict certain passages of the Bible. Copernicus' book was placed on the index of forbidden books, and Galileo was admonished to abandon his support for the theory. Despite the warning, Galileo continued his work and published Dialogue concerning the two chief world systems in 1632, which argued for the heliocentric model. The book was written as a dialogue between proponents of the heliocentric and geocentric models, clearly favoring the former. Trial and censorship. In 1633, Galileo was summoned to Rome to stand trial before the Roman Catholic Inquisition. He was found vehemently suspect of heresy and was forced to recant his views. Galileo was sentenced to house arrest for the remainder of his life, and his book was banned. Impact and legacy. Galileo's case is a classic example of how certain knowledge and scientific advancements can be suppressed due to religious, political, or cultural reasons. Despite the ban and his subsequent house arrest, Galileo's work laid the groundwork for future scientists like Johannes Kepler and Isaac Newton, who further developed the heliocentric model and our understanding of the cosmos. The banning of heliocentrism by the Church was not formally lifted until 1822, and in 1992, Pope John Paul II formally acknowledged the errors committed by the Church in Galileo's case. Galileo's story is a powerful reminder of the tension that can exist between established authorities and emerging scientific truths. It underscores the importance of intellectual freedom and the enduring struggle to reconcile new knowledge with traditional beliefs. The forbidden knowledge of Socrates. The setting. In ancient Athens, around 399 BC, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, Socrates, wandered the streets, engaging citizens in dialogues that challenged their beliefs and encouraged critical thinking. Socrates was renowned for his method of questioning everything, from the nature of justice to the essence of virtue. This approach, known as the Socratic method, sought to expose contradictions in people's thoughts and push them toward greater self-awareness and wisdom. The conflict. However, Socrates' relentless pursuit of truth and his tendency to publicly challenge powerful figures made him many enemies. His teachings often questioned the legitimacy of Athenian democracy and the authority of its leaders. He was accused of corrupting the youth of Athens and of impiety, specifically, not recognizing the city's gods and introducing new deities. The trial. Socrates was brought to trial before a jury of 500 Athenian citizens. Despite his eloquent defense, in which he argued for the importance of questioning and the pursuit of knowledge, the jury found him guilty. They offered him a choice: renounce his teachings and go into exile, or face death. Socrates chose to stay true to his principles, famously stating that the unexamined life is not worth living. The sentence. Socrates was sentenced to death by drinking a cup of hemlock, a potent poison. Surrounded by his friends and followers, he spent his final moments discussing the immortality of the soul and the afterlife. His death marked a pivotal moment in the history of philosophy, illustrating the risks associated with challenging societal norms and the pursuit of knowledge. The legacy. Socrates' martyrdom for the cause of free thought and intellectual inquiry has inspired countless generations. His student, Plato, documented his teachings and trial, ensuring that his ideas lived on. Socrates' story is a testament to the power of knowledge and the courage it takes to challenge established beliefs. The suppressed knowledge of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The discovery. In 1947, a young Bedouin shepherd named Muhammad Ethdib was tending his flock near the Dead Sea when he stumbled upon a hidden cave. Inside, he found a collection of ancient manuscripts, later known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls, dating back to between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, contained a wealth of information about early Jewish history, religion, and the origins of Christianity. The revelation. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls was one of the most significant archaeological finds of the 20th century. The scrolls included texts from the Hebrew Bible, as well as previously unknown writings that shed light on the beliefs and practices of a Jewish sect known as the Essenes. This knowledge had the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the historical and religious context in which Christianity emerged. The suppression. Despite their importance, the study and publication of the Dead Sea Scrolls were tightly controlled. For decades, only a select group of scholars had access to the full collection, leading to accusations of suppression and academic elitism. Many believed that the information contained in the scrolls could challenge established religious doctrines and historical narratives. The fight for access. In the late 20th century, scholars and institutions began to demand greater access to the Dead Sea Scrolls. The struggle for transparency culminated in the early 1990s, when unauthorized photographs of the scrolls were published, and computer technology allowed for the broader dissemination of their content. The impact. The full publication of the Dead Sea Scrolls has had profound implications for our understanding of Jewish and early Christian history. They have provided insights into the diversity of Jewish religious thought during the Second Temple period, and have illuminated the cultural and theological backdrop against which Jesus and the early Christians operated. The story of the Dead Sea Scrolls underscores the tension between the pursuit of knowledge and the forces that seek to control or suppress it. It is a reminder of the importance of academic freedom and the ongoing quest to uncover and share the truths of our past. The silenced genius of Nikola Tesla. The visionary. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Nikola Tesla was a towering figure in the world of science and innovation. A Serbian-American inventor and electrical engineer, Tesla was a visionary who saw the potential for electricity to revolutionize society. His inventions and ideas laid the groundwork for modern alternating current, AC, electrical systems, wireless communication, and numerous other technological advancements. The struggle. Despite his genius, Tesla struggled to gain the recognition and support he deserved. His ideas often conflicted with those of Thomas Edison, who championed direct current, DC, and had considerable influence and resources. Tesla's work on wireless transmission of electricity, particularly his ambitious project known as Wardenclyffe Tower, aimed to provide free, unlimited energy to the world. However, this radical idea threatened the business interests of powerful industrialists and financiers. The suppression. Tesla's financial backers, including J.P. Morgan, withdrew their support when they realized the implications of his work for the existing power industry. Without funding, Tesla's project was abandoned, and his ideas were largely dismissed or forgotten. Tesla spent his later years in relative obscurity, living in poverty, while many of his groundbreaking ideas remained unrealized during his lifetime. The legacy. Today, Tesla is celebrated as a pioneer who was ahead of his time. His contributions to electrical engineering and his visionary ideas have inspired countless inventors and scientists. The resurgence of interest in his work serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by those who push the boundaries of knowledge and innovation, and the importance of supporting visionary thinkers. The forbidden teachings of Hypatia. The scholar. In the late 4th and early 5th centuries, Hypatia of Alexandria was a renowned mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher. She was a prominent teacher at the Neoplatonic school of Alexandria, and was respected for her profound knowledge and intellectual rigor. Hypatia's work included advancements in algebra, geometry, and astronomy, and she was known for her eloquent lectures and writings. The conflict. Hypatia's position as a female scholar and her association with pagan philosophy put her at odds with a rising tide of Christian orthodoxy in Alexandria. As tensions between pagans and Christians grew, Hypatia became a symbol of the old Hellenistic tradition that the new Christian authorities sought to suppress. The tragic end. In 415 AD, Hypatia was brutally murdered by a mob incited by religious zealots. Her death marked the symbolic end of the intellectual freedom that had characterized Alexandria for centuries. The destruction of her works and the silencing of her teachings represented a significant loss for the scientific and philosophical community. The impact. Hypatia's life and tragic death highlight the vulnerability of knowledge and intellectual inquiry to the forces of intolerance and fanaticism. Despite the loss of many of her works, Hypatia's legacy endures as a symbol of the pursuit of knowledge and the struggle against ignorance and oppression. Her story is a poignant reminder of the importance of safeguarding intellectual freedom and respecting diverse viewpoints. Conclusion. These stories of banned knowledge, from Galileo's heliocentrism and Socrates' philosophical inquiries to the suppressed genius of Nikola Tesla and the tragic fate of Hypatia, illustrate the enduring conflict between innovative ideas and established powers. They remind us of the courage required to pursue truth and knowledge, and the profound impact such pursuits can have on society, even in the face of adversity. These tales serve as a testament to the resilience of human curiosity and the relentless quest for understanding in a world often resistant to change.